The Nazis sought a Judenrein, Jew-free Europe, just as Hamas seeks a Judenrein Israel.
2.3 million Palestinians in Gaza face death every day and every night. Save them. Save them. Look at them as human beings. You cannot look only at one side and ignore this tragic humanity completely. Wake up from revenge. Look at us as human beings. And you tell me about the two-state solution. And you repeat it. And you repeat it. And you repeat it. But you don't tell me what single step you are willing to take in order to stop the other side from destroying the two-state solution before your eyes.
But the brutality of the crimes is not the only thing that the savage Hamas Nazis share with the German Nazis. They both share a common ideology, and it's not the two-state solution.
The United Nations was not created in order to bring us to heaven, but to save us from hell. End of quotation. Gaza is now hell on earth. 3,500 Palestinian children have been killed by Israel in just 3 weeks. More than the annual number of children killed across the world's conflict zones combined since 2019. Every 5 minutes, a Palestinian child is killed. How many more days will you wait to say enough? How many more days will you wait to say enough? Paralyzed, not acting, not carrying out your duty to maintain international peace and security and to stop that war as a derivative of that. Palestinians, as human beings, have rights that must be upheld, and they are entitled to protection, and we are entitled to be defended. Many of you talk about one narrative, about one state to defend itself. When our children are being killed, do we have the right to defend them? Do we have the right to defend our families? Do we have the right to defend our schools? Do we have the right to defend our mosques? Do we have the right to defend our churches? Do we have the right to defend our homes and our soil and our nation? Do we have rights? Or rights only the monopoly of one side? Our people have, as a people, rights that have long been denied and must now be recognized so we can all live in peace and security. No assault or war will ever end this conflict or resolve this injustice. It will only deepen and widen it. We have said time and time again, there is no military solution to this conflict. We are yet to demonstrate there is a peaceful one. And I listen to you all the time. And you tell me about the two-state solution. And you repeat it. And you repeat it. And you repeat it. But you don't tell me what single step you are willing to take in order to stop the other side from destroying the two-state solution before your eyes. Isn't it enough to wake up and say the resolution that you adopted that calls for the implementation of the two-state solution show resolve to implement these resolutions? You are the Security Council. Are you continuing to be paralyzed, or you want to act on the advice you're giving me? you're giving the Palestinian people. Two-state solution we accepted. Implement it. Who is stopping you from implementing it? Who is stopping you from taking steps in order to push the occupation to an end, to allow for the independence of the state of Palestine? Who is stopping you? Don't keep repeating to me, two-state solution. Tell me how you are going to defend it and how you are going to implement it, so that can our people believe you and have faith in what you are saying and respect what you call for when they see you marching toward the implementation. And whoever is standing on the path of the implementation of your will should be removed from the way so that we can see the implementation of the two-state solution based on your resolutions, based on international law, based on the terms of reference. You agreed to all these things, but you're not acting.
Hamas are modern-day Nazis, from their appalling, inhumane violence to identical genocidal ideologies. Hamas is not seeking a solution to the conflict. They are not interested in dialogue. The only solution Hamas is interested in is the final solution, the annihilation of the Jewish people. And may I remind my colleague, they are the rulers of Gaza, not you. Yet Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of Hamas, is no Adolf Hitler. He is not the Führer. He is not the leader of this genocidal death cult hell-bent on world domination. That role, dear colleagues, and you know it very well, is held by the supreme leader of Iran, the bloodthirsty Ayatollah Khamenei. Hitler's Third Reich was envisioned to be a 1,000-year empire stretching across continents, just as Khamenei envisions his radical Shiite hegemony to stretch across the region and beyond. The Ayatollah regime is the modern Nazi regime, and their death squads includes Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, the Houthis, the Revolutionary Guard, and other savage jihadists. Instead of shouting, Sieg Heil, these radical Nazi Islamists scream, death to Israel, death to America, death to England. You could see it on the Khamenei's Twitter account. Just like the Nazi regime, the Ayatollah regime sows death and destruction everywhere it touches. Just as the French under the Vichy or the Italian under Mussolini, the residents of Gaza, Lebanon, Yemen, and Syria are enduring indescribable bloodshed and terror at the hands of Iran's jihadist Nazi forces. Like the suffering of Londoners during the Blitzkrieg, Ukrainian civilians are being murdered from the skies with Iranian Nazi weaponry. Like the ever-reaching hand of the Wehrmacht, the Houthi Iranian proxy attacked Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, and Albania was struck by unprovoked Iranian cyber attacks. The Islamic Nazi regime of Iran is responsible for aiding terrorists around the globe and working towards destroying every value our civilized world holds dear. Today, the world is watching the rise of a Shia Islamist Reich. Yet, just like the rise of Nazism, the world is silent. Deafeningly silent.
We don't only express our gratitude and appreciation for what they do, and also receive with them accepting condolences for those who have lost their lives and paid the ultimate price for trying to save the life of the Palestinian people. They are the best faces of the United Nations. They are the best among us, led by a hero by the name of Guterres, who stood outside the Rafah crossing and made his brave humanitarian call. Have a peaceful ceasefire, allow humanitarian convoys to reach everywhere in the Gaza Strip to save lives, to put an end to this war, and to save hospitals, to save every institution that is providing life for our people. Those are the best faces of the United Nations. And if they are in fact the best faces, which we truly believe and we express our gratitude to them, I believe we have to listen to everything that they have said and to listen to their important call and requests: humanitarian ceasefire and humanitarian convoys up to scale, as the Secretary General requested, of a minimum of 100 truckloads every day. If we genuinely respect their calls and what they are doing, let us not only listen closely to them, but to implement their request. And with that spirit, allow me, Mr. President, to deliver my statement. The General Assembly called for an immediate, durable, and sustained humanitarian truce. This must happen immediately. It stressed that humanitarian aid and access cannot be further delayed or obstructed and must be at levels that correspond to the immense needs created by this inhumane Israeli siege and the indiscriminate attacks it is perpetrating as we speak. Thousands more lives hang in the balance. This resolution, moral one, powerful one, in which 11 of you, members of the Security Council, voted for. 3 of you abstained. 1 voted no. This resolution must be immediately and fully implemented. If you were able to vote in the General Assembly, what is stopping you from voting here? The 11 who voted yes, the 3 who abstained, among them 4 permanent members voted yes and 1 abstention. Do what the bigger body is doing. Rise up to your responsibility and what you should do, instead of dragging the paralysis, I don't know for how long, while thousands of Palestinian innocent civilians, including children, being slaughtered.